Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio. Monday, back to work. So the Kansas City Chiefs obviously had a busy weekend in the NFL draft. We got a chance to talk about the first round on Friday. Of course, Mansour Delane and Peter Woods. Day two, they only got one pick, but I liked the pick that they went with. And a lot of the guys that are Sooners fans that I know are real high up on this kid, Mason Thomas. What do you think?
And that's just one because they went through the all 7 rounds and did get the players. You mentioned that Delane from LSU, a highly regarded pick. Peter Woods at just under 300 pounds, a defensive end from Clemson. He's a second-round choice, but did you see what he did after he was announced? He wasn't there. He wasn't there at the draft. And he was instead ensconced in a dealership, an auto dealership in Georgia. It was Georgia, South Carolina, I'm not sure where. But as soon as he was drafted, he wrote a check for $200,000 and purchased Maseratis for his mom and his daughter. I beg your pardon, his mom and his sister.
His sister, yeah.
Wait a minute. You haven't even made the team yet. Now you're guaranteed a certain amount of money for being drafted, but good Lord, $200,000 on a whim like that? Come on, son. Anyway, that's what he did. Talking about Mason Thomas, he is a 240-pound D-end out of Oklahoma, very quick pass rusher, and I think that's the key to him, and that's going to make a very big difference. The Chiefs also got a cornerback from Oregon, Jaden Kennedy, who had played at 2 previous colleges going before Oregon, Ole Miss and Tulane, and there is the fallacy of the transfer portal. Anyway, he is a pretty good ball player, allowed only 17 catches last year. 17 catches, and Oregon is playing in the Big Ten Conference. Allowed only 17 catches, that is pretty good. The Chiefs also picked up a running back named Emmett Thomas, who happens to be the Big Ten Conference top rusher this year at Nebraska, 1,451 yards, and they traded him perhaps to trade up somewhere. We'll see what happens, but hey, he's pretty good. Emmett Johnson can get in there. Now, whether or not he can buck and play with the NFL defense, that remains to be seen, but he certainly is a top choice. Cyrus Allen, who's a wide receiver from Cincinnati, had 13 catches this year, 13 touchdown catches. And what's interesting about Cyrus Allen, Mike, is that the Chiefs front office may have seen him and probably did see him play in college. Cincinnati opened their season at Arrowhead, and they were the home team. It was Cincinnati versus Nebraska, and they, wait a minute, Cincinnati's home field wasn't available. They had some kind of a problem there. And they moved the game to Arrowhead, knowing fully well that Nebraska would bring a large contingent down there, which they did. Anyway, this kid, Cyrus Allen, played in that game. Chiefs had a good chance to see him and grade him. But the biggest choice of all, and I find this one very interesting, is Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. Here's a kid who has all the potential and was an honorable mention All-America at LSU, but had injury problems all season long. He had a chest injury that prevented him from throwing deep, but he went out and played anyway. And then it was discovered in the camp that they have, what they call it, the combine. He had a cyst on his spine. Well, what that is remains to be seen. But if this kid, and the Chiefs are taking a chance in the 7th round, if this kid's healthy, he is a big-time get for Kansas City and a real steal. I like Nussmeier. He has great form in the backfield, can throw the ball when he's healthy a long way, and he would fit in very well. Now, the Chiefs already have 2 quarterbacks, but Nussmeier fitting in there just might be a big one.
Yeah, and we'll see, again, like I said, a lot of my buddies that are Oklahoma fans really like Mason Thomas, also that Nebraska running back. Emmett Johnson got a lot of praise too. So all in all, baby, football is back, and it was great to see who we've got coming up. And then I guess in here about 2-3 weeks, we'll be getting a schedule as they
we'll
start
have
to slowly
the rookie
drip that
camps
out.
that go into place. The rookie camps, and the players will be judged by that. Of course, it's all rookies. Then the selected ones get to go, of course, they'll all go to the preseason camp, which will be at St. Joe. And we'll see how things work out there, because that's an altogether different scene. These guys were stars in college. How many of them make the pros? Well, all of them are capable, according to the Chiefs, and we'll see what happens.
The Missouri State Bears, man, for a while they were looking Like the dog, over the weekend, they've got 5 L's in a row.
And this weekend's is just dreadful. They went down to Ruston, Louisiana, and play a Louisiana Tech team that doesn't have the same record that the Bears do. Are you familiar, and I know you are, with the text acronym OMG?
Are you asking me?
OMG was yesterday's game. Oh, my God. The Bears have a win. They're up 8-2 in the ninth inning. 8-2, and they lose the game. Louisiana Tech had 7 runs in the last of the ninth inning. The Bears only got 1 out. 1 out in that entire half inning. And Louisiana Tech wins it by a score of 9-8. How can that happen? The pitching is just simply dreadful for Missouri State, and it's going to cost them, too. I hope it doesn't cost them a berth in the NCAA tournament. I'd like to see them get there after several years' absence. But, my God, when you lose games like that, 9-8, when you led 8-2 in the ninth inning, good gracious sakes alive. Anyway, the Bears go to have another game. It's a non-conference game coming up tomorrow. Go to St. Louis to play SLU. And the Billikens are a pretty good baseball team. Bears need to get well, and well in a hurry.
Yeah, it just especially those last 2 games, 5-6, 8-9. You don't want that. Why do you think? Do you think it's pitching? You think they're not? What do you think happened along the way?
It's their pitching. They have the offense, a very good offensive attack. They have big sluggers on the team, but pitching and, in a sense, the defense. Defense didn't really come to the fore yesterday or in any of those games. I don't know. Maybe the Bears are tired, but come on, they're like all the college teams. They played the same number of games, and it just shouldn't be. But it is what it is, and Missouri State has a couple of weeks to get better before their conference tournament comes up.
So the Kansas City Royals, it seems to me, at least when they can score, can pull some stuff off and had a pretty good weekend overall, I think.
Well, they swept the Angels.
Yep.
It's a pretty good weekend. Took all 3. Yesterday's was very much in doubt. The Los Angeles Ball Club had a large lead late in the game, but the Royals came back 7-4 when the rains came, and that was that severe weather up in Kansas City. Game was delayed for a while, but they got it going again, to the Royals' credit. Kansas City tied the game in the ninth inning on a 2-run homer by Jack Caglione, and then win it in the 10th on a 2-run homer by Lane Thomas. So the Royals do get the sweep. 11-9 is the final. Now the Cardinals lost on a ninth inning home run by Rob Refsnyder of the Seattle Mariners, and Seattle sweeps that series from the Redbirds, winning it 3-2. Mike McGreevy pitched very well, but then the Cardinals brought in the bullpen, as they do every game. So long ball game, and it was won by the Seattle Mariners. Now the Springfield Cardinals also fell, lost to the Midland Rockhounds 4-2, and the Springbirds' record as they go on the road now is 7-14. Now, Mike, you do the math on this one. The Cardinals were 4-0 to start the season. They're now 7-14. Their record is 3-14 since then. And you got to get going real quick.
Better figure it out. But yeah, go Royals, and I'm sorry, Cardinals. Talladega, who got the checkered flag?
500-mile race, and there was a huge wreck in this race in the second of the stages that they go through. There are 3 stages, and in the second stage, a 20-car wreck that took out many of the big names, including the guy who won, but he didn't get taken out. It's Carson Hosaver, who was able to survive that wreckage, get back into the race, and wins. And he won it in a real duo with Chris Buescher down the stretch. But indeed, Carson Hosaver does get his first Cup win, and he wins it at Talladega. That is really very big and a significant victory.
Oh, yeah, it is. Ned, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.